And I told you that Jada was addicted to. So how Jada would watch at the house is she had her laptop, she would stick her hard drive in, right? Boom, and hook it up to the TV. Being around Will for 38 years and Jada for almost 3 decades, I saw a lot of things that I believe to be criminal.
If you expect to be with somebody forever, it's like, let's get real with it from the gate.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper, but it was a divorce.
Wait a second. Did Jada really just admit that Will was acting inappropriately with Brashier when he was only 17? This caught everyone off guard, especially since she was threatening to sue people left and right for talking bad about Will. But now she's out here doing the same thing herself. It's starting to look like Jada's realizing this battle might be bigger than her. People online are saying she's trying to protect her own name by throwing Will under the bus before things get worse. And let's not forget, she stayed quiet when folks were whispering about Will and Jaden, but suddenly she's ready to expose him now that more details are spilling out. What changed? Now listen, people are confused about why Jada would turn her back on Will after standing by him all these years. But word on the street is it's all tied to those growing allegations stacking up against him. At first, fans thought it was all just clout chasing, just noise. But after so many stories started lining up, everyone began to pause like, wait, all these people can't be lying. They've all been caught telling the same story again and again. The first big claim was about Brashier, and unless you've been totally off the grid, you've definitely heard some of the talk. Word is, Brashier was introduced to Will and Diddy by his manager, Charlie Mack, under the idea of mentorship. But that supposed mentorship allegedly turned into something dark and disturbing. People are saying it went from business talks to inappropriate encounters that left Brashier completely traumatized. After things reportedly went down, whispers say they tried to keep him quiet and pushed him out of the industry altogether. And now, Brashier's on social media showing a side of himself that's got everyone talking. His content is explicit, so wild that it can't even be shared here. He's out there posting adult material daily, and it's got fans wondering how he ended up here in the first place. Some people online are saying that whatever Will and Diddy allegedly exposed him to back then might have shaped his current lifestyle. They think what he's doing now is just him reliving those past experiences through the camera lens. If these rumors are true, then what we're seeing today might just be the aftermath of what went down behind the scenes. Some folks online are saying that Brashier jumped into his new career as a way to take back control, like he wanted to flip the script after being forced into those situations for so long. They claim it was his way of saying, "You don't own me anymore." But honestly, even before all that, his career was already crashing hard. Things were spiraling fast. He kept getting into legal mess after legal mess, and it seemed like trouble followed him everywhere.
He stole 2 hard drives from Jada's house. So now we get into why she's even more mad.
Who else did you see allegedly on the tape?
Tyrese with Will and Jada. Then the one with Charlie Mack and Will. Jada's not on it, but you can hear her say, make him spit up.
Back in 2019, he was pulled over in Chicago, and the police discovered he was driving without insurance or even a valid license or registration. He got booked on a misdemeanor for that vehicle issue, but was released on his own recognizance not long after. Still, that was just the start of his run-ins with the law. Then in 2020, things really blew up. Police in Goodyear, Arizona responded to a 911 call from his then wife, who said she had been assaulted. Reports say Brashier refused to come to the door, and after a standoff, he was eventually booked on suspicion of assault. That same year, Brashier was caught again for driving without license and even had an outstanding warrant out for his establishment legal issues. And after all that, that's when folks started noticing his shift in career path. Everything started going downhill. And let's not forget his connection with not one, but 2 of the biggest names in the industry, Will and Diddy. Especially with Diddy DMX getting exposed for all the gay stuff, and even what happened with Kim Porter. And now that Brashier's favorite gay actor is getting all this time exposed for his actions, you can't help but wonder what really happened behind closed doors.
out of his house for almost 9 hours. 9 whole hours. It got so serious that a SWAT team and crisis negotiators had to step in before he was finally taken into custody. He was later charged with serious offenses, including strangulation and disorderly conduct related to that incident. By May 2021, he pleaded guilty to felony aggravated assault and was sentenced to 10 days in county jail, plus 3 years of probation. But the trouble didn't stop there. By November 2022, he was back in the headlines again for violating his probation. Allegedly, he had another dispute involving a woman and failed to report everything to his probation officer, which landed him in even more legal chaos. But guess what? It still didn't stop there. Even in 2025, Brashier found himself back behind bars again, and this time, the reason had everyone in total disbelief. It all went down on June 15, 2025 in Chesapeake, Virginia, where he was arrested on a misdemeanor battery charge. Reports say it happened after a heated hotel dispute with a man named Dustin Chosen Wilkins. Things got so tense that a warrant was issued, and Brashier ended up being taken into custody before finally posting bond. Afterward, Brashier spoke out, saying he didn't need to be locked up, he needed real mental health help. He insisted that jail wasn't going to fix what he was going through, and that sparked a lot of conversation online. But here's where it gets even messier. People are convinced that Will and Jada had something to do with how far Brashier has fallen. According to what Jaguar said, Jada allegedly knew that Will was being inappropriate with Jaden when he was just 15, but she stayed silent because she didn't want the world to know the kind of man he really was. That claim alone sent shockwaves through social media. And remember how Jada was quick to threaten lawsuits against anyone talking about her or Will? Well, one of the main people she went after was Will's alleged former assistant, Bilal. Right after his explosive interview dropped, Jada came out swinging, threatening to sue him immediately. But that didn't scare him off one bit. Bilal clapped right back and doubled down, making even more shocking accusations that kept everyone glued to their screens. Bilal dropped some wild claims that had everyone's jaws on the floor. He accused Will of allegedly using his Hollywood power to lure young actors into private freak-off situations, promising them fame and success if they just went along with whatever he wanted. According to Bilal, one of those actors was Brashier, who supposedly broke down and confessed everything to him in tears. That revelation alone had social media losing it. But that's not where it ends. Bilal went even further, saying he's got actual tapes of those secret encounters involving Will, Jada, Diddy, Brashier, and even Tyrese. People couldn't believe what they were hearing. It sounded like something straight out of a scandal movie. And just when everyone thought the story couldn't get any messier, Bilal hinted there might be more evidence out there waiting to surface. Things took a darker turn when Will got hit with a lawsuit from America's Got Talent violinist Brian Joseph King. Yeah, the same Brian who's now accusing him of something extremely serious. Brian claims that while he was touring with Will for his Based on a True Story show, things started feeling off. He said Will was setting him up for a freak-off. And what happened next sounds straight out of a thriller.
For me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, times, and, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
According to Brian, in March 2025, while he was staying at a hotel, he came back to his room only to realize someone had broken in while he was gone. What he found left him completely shaken. There was a handwritten note that read, "Brian, I'll be back, just us," with a heart drum beside it and signed Stone F. But that wasn't all. He says there were wipes, a beer bottle, a red backpack, a bottle of HIV medication labeled with someone else's name, an earring, and even hospital discharge papers belonging to a random person. Can you imagine finding all that in your room? Brian said his heart dropped when he saw it. He was terrified someone was planning to come back that night and force him into something he wanted no part of. Acting fast, he reported everything to the hotel staff and even contacted Will's management team, expecting protection and support. But here's the shocking part. Brian says instead of helping him, Will's team fired him on the spot and swapped him out for another violinist.
That move left people convinced there was way more to the story than anyone wanted to admit. After Brian's lawsuit hit the headlines, the internet exploded with reactions. Some people were stunned. Others said it only confirmed what they'd been suspecting for years. And just when everyone thought the chaos couldn't get any worse, more insiders started coming forward with stories that made things look even messier. A few claimed they had seen strange behavior around Will during his tours, like private hotel gatherings that didn't feel professional at all. People started calling it the Hollywood hush circuit, and it became the talk of every gossip page out there. Then, out of nowhere, whispers started spreading that one of Will's closest business partners had quietly cut ties with him. Reports say the partner didn't want to get dragged into what was turning into a full-blown scandal. And if that wasn't enough, sources claimed that Jada Pinkett was doing major damage control behind the scenes, trying to clean up her image while letting Will take all the heat. Fans online began connecting dots between the old rumors and the new allegations, saying it all lined up way too perfectly to be a coincidence. Some even brought up how Jada recently started giving emotional interviews about self-healing and letting go of toxic energy, which many believe was her subtle way of separating herself from everything blowing up around Will. But the real kicker? A supposed insider dropped hints that the FBI had quietly started looking into the situation, especially after multiple people mentioned being threatened to stay silent. If that turns out to be true, this Hollywood storm might just be getting started, and Will and Jada could be facing the biggest fallout of their entire careers. By the time the story hit its next wave, things were spiraling completely out of control. Everyone online was talking, and the headlines just kept getting wild about a day. Outlets were dropping new exclusive claims every few hours, and Will's name was all over social media trends, sometimes with receipts, sometimes just pure chaos. But either way, the internet was eating it up.
Behind the scenes, sources said Will had gone completely silent. No interviews, no statements, nothing. Insiders close to him claimed he'd gone off the grid to avoid making things worse, while his legal team scrambled to clean up the situation. Meanwhile, Jada was playing things differently. She was suddenly everywhere, doing interviews about truth, love, and emotional freedom, but people weren't buying it. Many believe she was just trying to rewrite her role in everything before the story got out of her control. To make matters worse, an anonymous Twitter account started posting screenshots, voice notes, and even what looked like flight details supposedly connecting Will, Diddy, and a few unnamed celebrities to private gatherings in multiple cities. The posts didn't prove anything outright, but they were convincing enough to keep the internet on fire. Now, fans are saying that this might be the final crack in Will and Jada's image as Hollywood's perfect couple. People are calling it the biggest fall from grace since the Oscar slap, and with so many voices coming forward, it's looking like there's no going back from this one. Whether the truth comes out in court or through another shocking leak, one thing's for sure, this saga is far from over, and Hollywood isn't ready for what's coming next. By now, Hollywood's trying hard to act like everything's normal, but the tension behind closed doors is off the charts. Insiders are whispering that major studios are distancing themselves from Will, quietly freezing upcoming deals and press appearances. One producer even hinted that a big streaming project he was attached to might mysteriously disappear from the lineup soon. It's like everyone's trying to protect their image before things explode any further. Meanwhile, Jada's every move is being watched. She's been posting cryptic quotes about truth revealing itself and trusting divine timing, which fans think are her way of throwing more shade at Will without saying his name. The comments under her posts are pure chaos. Some people cheering her on, others accusing her of being just as guilty. It's like the internet can't decide who to believe anymore. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Rumors started circulating that one of Will's former security guards is ready to spill everything. Word is, this person's been approached by multiple outlets offering serious cash for a tell-all interview, and he's considering it. If that happens, things could get even darker, because apparently he's got messages, recordings, and even travel logs that could connect dots no one's ever confirmed publicly. And while fans are
watching him, he's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, 30 years coming up in the business. So, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love. And all he has to do is add.
Arguing online. The industry is getting nervous. Big names who once called Will and Jada Hollywood royalty are now keeping their distance, and some are even deleting old pictures with them. Everyone's waiting to see what's next, because if this guard really talks, it won't just shake Will's world, it might tear down some of Hollywood's hidden secrets. Just when people thought this saga couldn't get any messier, boom! Another twist dropped that sent the internet into total meltdown. Reports started flying that someone close to Will's legal circle had supposedly leaked information about hush money payments, allegedly used to keep certain stories from ever hitting the press. While nothing's been confirmed yet, screenshots and voice notes are floating around online, and fans are dissecting every detail like detectives on a mission. Meanwhile, Jada's acting unbothered, but her silence is louder than ever. She's been spotted out in public rocking her calm, collected look, but people swear they can see the tension in her eyes. Some fans think she's bracing for something huge to break, especially since insiders are hinting that a few of Will's business associates might soon be subpoenaed for questioning. The streets are buzzing that this isn't just gossip anymore. It's starting to look like a full-blown investigation. And just when everyone's trying to process that, another rumor hits that someone from Diddy's old circle is ready to hand over proof, tying all three of them together in ways no one expected. Whether it's real or not, it's keeping the internet in flames. Now, everyone's wondering how long Will can stay silent before he finally speaks up. His fans are begging for the truth, critics are waiting for his downfall, and Hollywood's power players are holding their breath. Because if the next leak really connects all those names together, this might just become the biggest scandal the entertainment world's ever seen. By the time the 11th wave of this drama hit, things had officially crossed into uncharted territory. Reports were flying everywhere, some claiming the FBI had quietly reached out to a few industry insiders for clarification, others saying big media outlets were holding back explosive evidence until their legal teams gave the green light. It's like everyone in Hollywood suddenly went silent, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Will's camp has been in full lockdown mode. No statements, no interviews, just total silence. Insiders say Will's inner circle is starting to turn on itself, with people pointing fingers and cutting off contact. The tension is so thick you could slice it with a knife. Meanwhile, Jada's been trying to spin her narrative like a pro, talking about spiritual transformation and cleansing negative energy, but no one's buying it anymore. Every post she drops turns into a battlefield of comments, half the people calling her brave, the other half calling her fake. The divide between her supporters and critics has never been sharper. Then came the latest bombshell. Rumors that one of Will's former close friends, someone who's been around him for decades, is ready to go public with details about private meetings, hidden contracts, and who knew what behind the scenes. If that's true, everything could unravel fast. Now the entire industry's on edge. Every celebrity with a connection to Will or Jada is suddenly unavailable for comment. It's like everyone knows something big is coming, and no one wants to be the next name dragged into this ever-growing Hollywood storm. By this point, it's not just a scandal anymore, it's a full-blown Hollywood earthquake. The tension around Will and Jada has reached an all-time high, and the entertainment world is shaking under the pressure. Every day brings a new leak, a new rumor, or a fresh name getting tangled in the chaos. Insiders are calling it the most explosive situation Hollywood's seen in years, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. Now, people are saying major studios are holding emergency meetings behind closed doors, trying to figure out how to protect their brands if things get worse. One insider even claimed that a huge streaming service quietly shelved a Will Smith documentary that was supposed to drop later this year. No explanation, just gone overnight. Fans noticed immediately, and the internet went wild with theories. Meanwhile, Jada's been moving like she's 2 steps ahead of everyone else. Word is, she's already talking to publishers about a tell-all book, one that could flip the whole story in her favor. But the question is, would she actually expose what really happened, or is she just trying to control the narrative again? People aren't sure anymore. And here's the wildest part. Multiple blogs are hinting that leaked audio might surface soon, allegedly featuring heated conversations between Will, Jada, and a mystery third voice. No one knows if it's real or not, but that rumor alone has social media losing its mind. Everyone's glued to their screens, waiting for the next drop. because if that audio's legit, it could blow this entire situation wide open and end careers overnight.
Smith's former best friend of almost 40 years has sued his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, saying that she threatened to end his life. Now, Jada has said she was going to sue him first, but apparently...
By the time this 13th wave hit, it felt like Hollywood was running on pure chaos. Every corner of social media was flooded with theories, screenshots, and cryptic posts. Nobody knew what was real anymore, but everyone was watching. The story had taken on a life of its own, and it seemed like every day brought a new twist that left people gasping. Now, reports are saying that a certain entertainment lawyer, someone who's worked with A-list stars for decades, might be preparing to release a full statement that could change everything. Word is, this lawyer allegedly has documents connecting big Hollywood names to private deals that were meant to keep stories from ever seeing daylight. People are calling it Hollywood's open secret, and it's about to explode. Meanwhile, Will's camp is rumored to be in complete panic mode. Insiders say his team has been meeting non-stop with crisis managers, trying to figure out how to stop the bleeding before it gets any worse. They're supposedly reaching out to old allies, trying to pull favors, but nobody wants to get caught in the crossfire. Jada, on the other hand, has gone completely quiet. No interviews, no cryptic posts, nothing. It's like she vanished overnight. Some fans think it's a strategic move, like she's waiting for the right moment to drop something major, but others believe she's finally realized how deep this mess goes. Now, with the internet in a frenzy and powerful people trying to keep things buried, everyone's wondering who's gonna break first. Because if even one more piece of evidence hits the public, it could set off the biggest Hollywood implosion the world's ever seen. Now, as everyone can see, this is exactly why people are giving Jada the side eye. If even a fraction of these rumors turn out to be true, it means she had plenty of chances to step in and protect Brashier, but she didn't. And now she suddenly wants the world to believe she's doing the right thing by exposing Will? Please, it's looking more like a last-minute move to save herself than some brave act of truth-telling. One fan commented, "This kind of stuff has always gone down in Hollywood. The only difference now is that the internet won't let them hide it anymore." Another person said something that really hit hard. "Losing your manhood is losing it all. What remains is just a shell. Only God can redeem that." Those words had people thinking deep, because what's being said is real. It paints a dark picture of what really goes on behind all that Hollywood glamour. But the big question remains, do you think Jada's actually exposing Will out of guilt, or is she just trying to save her own image before everything crashes down? Because at this point, it's hard to tell who's really the victim and who's just playing the game better. I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Do you believe Jada's doing this for truth or for attention? And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next messy breakdown. Trust me, you'll want to be here when the next bomb drops, because this Hollywood drama is far from over.